Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all around the world, my name is Brandon. You might know me from a familiar place called the Rags to Riches Telegram. I am the founder, I'm the owner, the CEO, the master and commander, and the supreme Ayatollah. I have a very special guest here today, very special guest. And this is KG with Internet Money. And KG has decided to come into the town square as he has on other occasions and talk about his projects. So KG, how the hell are you, man?
I'm very good, bro. Thanks for having me. I appreciated the supreme Ayatollah statement. Quite the statement.
Yeah, I've got people waiting to wage jihad on me, so I'm waiting for that to come up. It's going to get interesting pretty soon. um, so you've probably seen some of my previous talks, and I like to bring projects on, and I like to get these projects on record. And one of the first things that I tell everybody before I start in is I have not received any type of financial or any type of compensation whatsoever for doing this, and I think it's very important to put that out there, considering the climate that we deal with these days with crypto at large and just how crazy it is out there. So I wanted to say that first and foremost. Secondly, let's go ahead and get into this. KG, I want you to just kind of talk to me about who you are and what you do, and we'll kind of take it from there.
Well, my name is KG, and I currently in the crypto world, I serve as an admin in the Pulse X, Pulse Chain, and Hex Telegrams, as a moderator for the Hex and Pulse Chain subreddits. I I'm a realtor by trade, and I am looking to turn my passion of crypto into what I do full time and play my part in strengthening the Pulse Chain ecosystem, which is why me and my team created the Internet Money ecosystem.
Cool. Okay, so take me take me back a little bit, KG. Tell
Okay.
me about let's take it pretty far back. Tell me about some of your influences. How did you arrive to where you are right now with regards to crypto? What were your influences growing up, and did you have any type of interest in technology initially, or what did that look like?
Sure. So I was one of the first YouTubers to make jailbreak videos for the iPhone. And if you don't believe me, you can check out my old channel, K Gangsterish K is my old channel. And I was one of the very first people making jailbreak videos for iPhones. So always been into technology. Um, and through all that underground, how to do weird stuff with the phone, I may or may not have discovered the Silk Road, which then may or may not have introduced me to Bitcoin. And it's
Mhm.
funny because broke high school me saw Bitcoin at $80 and thought, oh my God, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was crazy. $80 to me at that time was 2 weeks' salary.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't buy in at that time, but that's ultimately when I found crypto and discovered it.
Outstanding. So when did you really kind of latch on to the crypto concept? When did you really start playing and understanding and learning and getting into the ecosystem?
So I got in heavy to the ecosystem, and it's kind of an embarrassing story to share sometimes, but
Sure.
it's the truth. Uh, my first big crypto investment was Dogecoin pre SNL hype,
Yep.
and from that, I was then introduced into Hex. And when I found Hex, it was game over. I took a deep dive, and I became obsessed. I couldn't even sleep. It was 4 a.m. on my phone. My wife and kids are asleep next to me. I'm just like learning about some new token. Uh, so yeah, Hex was what started the addiction, I guess.
What about Hex really? What did you like about it? Out of curiosity.
Sure, it was the first token that captured my attention. The tokenomics of it, I like the philosophy of it, and I like the community. I mean, whenever I went on Reddit, and then it introduced me to Pulse Chain, and so it just the ecosystem sucked me in, really.
Cool. So, about what time? When did you get into Hex? About
My first buy was 3 cents,
okay, 3 cents. And so that was, I guess that was 2021, correct? Early 2021.
early 2021. Yes.
Okay, cool. And then the next question that I always ask everybody is if the situation was brought up or the scenario was brought up where you had to prove that you bought Hex, would you be willing to send one Hex to my wallet and my wallet only to verify that you were in at 3 cents?
Just to verify my wallet address.
Not your address, just verify you got into Hex when you got into it. Just me, nobody else.
Sure, I have nothing to hide.
Cool. So, next question here is, why are you here, man? Tell me about your project. I had your white papers, but you guys call it the black papers pulled up, and it was pretty interesting. It seems like you guys are really heavy on the simplicity portion of what's going on here. So tell me about your project.
So we are a two token ecosystem, and I'll talk very briefly about the first token we launched because I want the focus to be the new token we're working on.
Okay.
So the first token we launched was called Internet Money, or it is
Okay.
called Internet Money, still exists. It exists on the Binance Smart Chain, and if you own it at the time when we launch it on Pulse Chain, you will get a one-to-one copy on Pulse Chain. We already launched on Pulse Chain testnet. We've already airdropped. We've already tested our airdrop code. It's functioning. It's beautiful. Internet Money. Oh, okay. So that's the overview of Internet Money. Now, our ecosystem is also developing a native Pulse Chain wallet, and this wallet, like MetaMask, will generate fees when users perform swaps within the wallet. Here's where the new token comes in, and this token is called Internet Money Dividend, or IMD for short. Holders of the IMD token will receive a portion of the fees that the wallet generates. And those fees are generated in Pulse. So effectively, by holding the IMD token, you receive passive income in the form of Pulse.
Okay. And those are daily payouts.
You are eligible to claim your Pulse daily.
Okay. So if I'm going to summarize what you just said, essentially you guys are creating a wallet. Those wallets or the wallet is going to generate fees. A portion of those fees go to the holders, and you can basically claim up to daily payouts of PLS for those people who are holding this. What's the token IMD?
IMD, yeah, Internet Money Dividend.
Okay. All right, so it says here in your black papers, Internet Money Dividend is the first token of its kind, whereas most ecosystems that afford you the opportunity to earn passive income in crypto require some layer of complexity or loss in order to earn. What do you mean by that?
So, in every other token that I can find that gives you passive income, there is either a staking mechanic, a delegating mechanic, a locking up mechanic of some kind that right there adds a layer of complexity for the new user because you have to go through some additional process, and the loss of having to physically either give your coins, lock your coins, something. Our token, you simply hold it. The smart contract knows you are eligible to claim your Pulse.
Okay. And what type of payouts will you receive? Is it based on how much you have, or your share, or what's that look like?
So the total supply of IMD is 2 billion. It's fixed, it's not inflationary, it's not deflationary. And the amount of IMD you hold is directly proportionate to the amount of fees you will receive.
Okay. So we'll kind of go and I'm going to read off of your paper here just to the crowd too, just to get, tons of clarity on what we're talking about. So just to reiterate, a total of 2 billion IMD will be minted. All IMD will be minted at the time of token launch. The distribution of IMD is laid out in the pie chart below. We've got a pie chart here. And essentially you've got about 71% for the sacrifice set, and then 29% is no expectation. So let's go ahead and talk about the sacrifice set, and then we can kind of talk about what that chart means.
Sure. So we also have the first sacrifice of its kind. I said there was the total of 2 billion tokens.
Yep.
We gave that token, or that amount of tokens, a market valuation of $2 million.
Okay.
The sacrifice is going to be capped at $1.2 million. And if that full amount is raised, we're giving the entire sacrifice set a value of $1.4 million, which is where the 71% comes from. So unlike other sacrifices where as more people sacrifice and it dilutes everyone else in the sacrifice set, our sacrifice does not do that. Our sacrifice, like I said, is capped, the supply is capped, and it is limited.
Okay. All right. And what are the details on that sacrifice? Do we know when it's going to start? Do we know how long it's going to last? What's that look like?
So it starts on March 13th in 11-ish days, wherever you're at in the world. And it ends, and the exact time will be released soon. We're going to have a counter on our website so everybody has fair opportunity to get in. And it ends either when $1.2 million is raised or April 13th.
Okay. So we've got the sacrifice now to this wallet. So what is this wallet? What type of utility is it going to provide? Pulse chain. Is it yeah? So what's that look like? What am I going to see when I see this wallet?
So one of the major missions of our team and the wallet is to onboard new users into crypto through Pulse Chain. So when users download our wallet, it'll be an Android and iOS app, as well as a browser extension. So when users download the app, they will be airdropped free Pulse and free IM, not the IMD, the first token, the peer-to-peer digital cash. And the user will be natively connected to the Pulse chain. So whereas it's hard to onboard friends and family into crypto now, all you have to do is instruct your friends or family to download this app. They'll have 2 free cryptos. They can begin transacting on Pulse Chain. So you've succeeded in onboarding not only someone into crypto, but bringing that person as their native blockchain to Pulse Chain. Then they'll have free Pulse to transact with, and they'll have IMD to transact with or swap into Pulse X, Hex, any other token they so choose.
Okay. So essentially, what a person would need to do after they create this wallet, I'm assuming they're going to have enough for transaction fees.
Exactly.
All right. So what they would have to do, we would still have to bridge in the value just like you would normally from Ethereum into Pulse Chain, correct? Into your wallet, essentially. Is that right?
Yes. If you wanted to bring in new fiat,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you would have to still bridge in.
Okay, cool. So the headline here is the best passive income stream in crypto. The Internet Money Wallet will charge fees on transactions, kind of like MetaMask and other crypto wallets. A fee of 0.729% will be charged on every swap performed within the wallet. These fees will be charged in the form of PLS. Holders of the IMD token will get a portion of the fees generated by the wallet, respective to their holdings To calculate your percentage of the pool, you can divide how many tokens you have by the total supply and multiply by 100. Fees will be claimable on a daily basis through our Android and iOS apps or browser extension on the website. Holders of the IMD token will be able to sell portions of their positions down to 1/1000%, making IMD not only the best form of passive income in crypto, but also granting users the ability to hold on to an asset that can potentially appreciate. And it says here passive income plus an appreciating asset equals, well, use your imagination. Interesting. So in an ecosystem of multiple trillions of tokens of supply, why did you guys choose 2 billion?
So we were initially going to go with the 10,000 number that every hexagon seems and pulsicon seems to appreciate, right? That seems to be the going number in our ecosystem. But going back to the market valuation, we gave the tokens of 2 million. When we did 10,000, that would have been 20 billion, which would have been okay. But when we're talking about fractions of a percent, it was too small to ascribe that fractional percent to a very high supply of tokens. The fractions of the percent became too much.
Okay.
So having a smaller, it was finding the perfect balance of having a large enough to supply where many people could benefit from the ecosystem, but a small enough supply to where the percentages made sense.
Okay. Sounds good. Um, tell me about, I read on the website maybe, or one of your white papers, your developers.
So those of you that know Victor, he developed our website and he helped us with a lot of the early branding and everything around IM and internet money ecosystem. We now have on our team F5, who's and Victor's a Richard Hart developer for those that don't know. F5 is also a Richard Hart developer, and he built the Pulse Chain and Pulse X sacrifice websites, as well as he is building the AMM bot for Richard.
Okay. Cool. And let's talk about this. So you've got yourself, and I was reading on the black papers, you have Don Montoya, who you said it's a U.S. Army vet, father of 4. So kind of tell me about the other folks that are involved. Are these all co-founders? I guess 4 total founders.
Correct.
All right. So what do these guys? What are kind of their responsibilities? Are these guys just like investing initially, or what does that look like?
So we all equally, there's countless hours we are talking to each other all the time. So whenever we develop new ideas, it's a team effort. Whenever the project needs funds, it's a team effort. So we all equally we're the idea factory, as well as we all are the ones who have been investing in this project to bring it to where it is now.
Okay. Now, as somebody who is creating a new project, what were some of the things that were going through your head, like check boxes that needed to be checked off before you would bring this to the community?
We needed to find a way to do everything we wanted to do that was trustless and free of admin keys. We are big supporters of the Richard Hart philosophical approach to crypto. So no admin keys was we knew before we even started talking to this community that had to be possible. So that was one of our biggest points. And we also wanted to find a way to support the Pulse Chain ecosystem. So those were really 2 of the big driving points for us, because we're all involved. We're always involved in the community, and we really just wanted to find what are our strengths and how can we use those strengths to benefit this community we love.
Cool. I asked the other day on my Twitter, I said pretty much the same question I just asked you. What boxes must be checked for you to feel comfortable about a new project? So I'll kind of go through I'll kind of go through some of these, and maybe we can come up with some questions here.
Sure.
One person says, this is Pistol Perry 71. Is there a token name trying to ride the coattails of another token? Is it transparent? Is there a history of success in previous ventures? And do they truly reply to their followers? I thought that was pretty interesting. And I think that kind of speaks to kind of what we were talking about in the green room. It's a trust thing. It's a trust thing between you and the community, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else? So no admin keys. Sick game theory. This is from Bobby Hexelrod. And he also said K4K approved. Oh, sorry. Yeah. K4K approved. So make sure you get on a stream with him really soon, apparently.
Okay. Okay. Noted.
Let's see here. Finished product, security audits. What does that look like security audit wise?
So we do have plans to audit not only the IM code, but the IMD code, as well as the wallet once those things are in existence.
Okay. And your product market fit, that's essentially you're trying to solve the problem of onboarding much easier, I assume.
Yeah. So one aspect of our product market fit is solving the onboarding problem. The other aspect of the product market fit is how can we make passive income in crypto approachable and rewarding.
Okay. Um, this is actually, I guess, so Victor's involved with freepulse.io. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. He created that.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's Victor or the other guy, but he says, a working MVP, which is, I guess, is that minimum viable product, not just a trailer or mockups. And in your code, you said it's almost complete or is complete.
Well, IM is complete.
IM
Verify.
is.
IM
Yeah.
is. Yep. It's IMD is not.
Right. And what's your time frame on that, do you think? You said.
So obviously, the mainnet launch of Pulse Chain dictates that, but we are aiming to launch as soon after Pulse Chain as possible. We want to be the first native Pulse Chain wallet to market.
Yeah. Okay. You're going to get a lot of questions, and I'm sure you probably already have had a lot of questions about the security of this wallet, because that's the most important thing. It's probably one of the more important, like more difficult projects to tackle, just for the simple fact that you got to convince people that it's safe. What types of things can you say or things can you address to make people feel safe about your wallet?
Well, one priority for us is education.
Mhm.
So everyone who downloads our wallet is going to be educated. For the advanced crypto user, the information might seem redundant, but we're going to focus on making sure that everybody knows best practices, safe practices in crypto. Our
Okay.
browser extensions are going to have hardware wallet support in version 1. The mobile wallet, we think it's mobile app. We think it's very important to somehow integrate hardware wallet support there. Whereas I can't find it in existence at this moment in time. Even MetaMask 6 years later doesn't have hardware wallet support. We
Okay.
want that. That is on our priority list. Now, we can't promise that in version 1, but as soon as we can make it possible, we're going to make it possible. And as far as other security concerns, F5, the one who's building the AMM bot that we are trusting with that very critical portion of the Pulse Chain ecosystem, is the one that is building the wallet. So he's very good at what he does.
Okay. Now, you've got different types of audits. You got kind of like an economics. You got a security. You guys plan on doing both of those?
Absolutely. Yes. Any which way we can have our code audited is going to be audited, and it will obviously be published for community review as well.
Okay. All right. Next question. I thought it was kind of interesting. So you've got four of the founders here. You've got Don Montoya, Marco. How do you say his last name?
Giuseppe.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher it. Giuseppe, and then Kyle Cruz. I'm curious. You didn't have your first and last name on here. Is there a reason for that?
I had it out there for a while, but as we started to become more popular, I honestly got a little nervous. And
Okay.
so another avenue that we are and nervous, I know that might seem weird, but honestly, it just I have a wife and 2 small children, and it just it people knowing where I live and everything started to make me nervous, honestly.
Okay.
So what we're going to do now is we have discovered that there are third party KYC companies.
Uh huh.
And so we all the 4 of us are going to go through that KYC process and, send that we've been verified who we are. We are who we say we are.
Okay. Talk to me about the vote. Now this is IM. This is so the vote to burn. That's currently in play right now on Binance Smart Chain, right?
No, that is gonna come into play on Pulse Chain.
That is going to come into play. Okay, so talk to me about that because this is a major part of your black paper.
So the vote to burn, to clarify for those watching, is in relation to the IM token. Um, so IM on Pulse Chain will be deflationary. Currently, we have for every IM bought on BSC, 2 IM will be burnt on Pulse Chain. Now, for the vote to burn, every holder of IM that holds $42 worth of IM at the time of the vote can vote to have IM burnt that quarter based on how much was bought. If IM is voted to not be burnt that quarter, then the following quarter, the bought to burnt ratio is amplified. And that's spelled out really nicely and cleanly in the black paper.
So I'll read it. Internet money will have a quarterly vote to burn. The mechanics of this are simple. There will be 2 buttons on the website and app. There's a burn and no burn. Whichever option gets the most votes wins. Who is eligible to vote? Those who hold IM with the market value of at least 42 US dollars. Beginning from the launch of IM on Pulse Chain, the burn will ensue at the end of the first full quarter and every quarter thereafter, with the option to vote becoming available 2 weeks before the burn. So, as I'm reading that, I'm thinking, well, that kind of solves a problem that maybe you guys didn't intend on solving, or maybe you did,
What's that?
which is you can't make the decision maybe you can't make the decision yourself to burn or not burn. And you're going to let the users make that decision, assuming they're going to click burn each time, or what advantage is there to having a no burn button?
So it ultimately is a marketing event and a community engagement event because the burn tokens don't come from the circulating supply. They come from our vault wallet. If you look at the tokenomics there, the vault wallet is the biggest portion of the pie. So it's ultimately for that.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Maybe you should call Richard up and say, "Hey, why don't you put some type of function in here for burn or no burn, so that way there can be an automated buy and burn function and not a manual one." So that's a cool little feature.
Well,
J
I will clarify there for transparency's sake.
Yeah.
It it is manual. We have to initiate the burn still.
Yeah, but you're not buying.
No, we are not.
Right, so that would be the difference, but it would be neat to leave it up to a community. If you can't do a buy and burn, leave it up to community to do that. They can just press a button each time. That might
Exactly.
that might be a way around it.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, man. I mean, we're right on the money right here. Let me see if chat has anything to say. I don't like to prolong things. We're right at 30 minutes. I will say that chat seems pretty docile compared to a lot of projects that I talk to, so that might be a really good thing for you.
Well,
Um,
I did see 2 comments there that I would
yeah,
like to address if you don't
go ahead.
mind. So I saw Money Changers said MetaMask definitely supports hardware wallets,
Hmm.
and they do. But my point earlier was MetaMask does not support hardware wallets on their mobile version.
Okay.
And then I saw YOLO Hex. So if I made 1,000 wallets with $42, I guess he or she is trying to find the hole in the vote to burn system.
Hmm.
If you made 1,000 wallets with $42, I would say thank you, and so would the price. Go for it.
Cool. Well, man, I just want to, let me make sure. And folks, I always ask in the green room if there's any topics that he would like me to bring up so he can talk to me about it. And he gave me two topics. One was the IMD token, and one was the sacrifice phase. We talked about both of those. Is there anything additional that you would like to add to this conversation before we cut out here?
Me or chat? Sorry.
You.
So yeah, sure. So there's one cool thing that I like to talk about with the one interesting game theory around the IMD token, and it could also be, and again, I'm open to stand corrected. Oh wow, got a interesting comment,
Hmm.
but um, the game theory is this may be the first token in crypto history where price doesn't matter. And I say that because regardless of what somebody is selling it on the market for, the token is going to have a different intrinsic value for every holder based on the amount of passive income they are receiving and how long they plan to hold it. So if anybody wants to go down that rabbit hole, we can, but ultimately it's that game theory gets me the most excited.
Cool. Thank you. A fun little comment from Cool Luke. Rags, I love you, bro. But this entire content creator BS and the way you interview suck. You do not sound researched on who you are interviewing. And again, your guests are more boring than personal. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Do not like, comment, or subscribe. No expectations of the work of others. Cool. And you can always tune in to figure out what projects are launching on Pulse Chain. And I will act very, very stupid while I'm interviewing them so they can teach the chat. But that might not be something you're interested in. Cool. So before we get off here, and this is something, it's a tradition, man. It's
Okay.
probably the most important part of this.
Okay.
You're a dad.
I am.
So you got to give me a dad joke before we get off. And you can
Uh,
Google it, but we're
no,
not getting off without it.
I got one. I don't even need to Google it.
What do we got?
All right. Why did Tigger stick his head in the toilet?
Why?
He was looking for poo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, love you guys all. Please talk more trash in the comments. We're out. Stick around in the green room, brother.
All right.